This is episode 295 of the Super League pod. Some of our listeners have been getting on the summer wine early doors, so we've heaps of fan views, some more comprehensible than others, to share on the events of the last 7 days in Rugby League. We'll discuss the RL family showing its value, some international common sense, as well as unwarranted fondling, and plenty of blowouts. We find the exception that proves the rule, if not the words to describe it, and so much more. So strap in, it's SLP time. Hello listeners, this is episode 295 of the Super League pod, and we make no apologies about you being in the winner's corner today, as you've got myself, Wigan fan Mark, and I'm joined by Hull FC fan Sarah. Hello Sarah.
Hi, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good.
A very different Easter weekend for us, but a ultimately successful one for our sides.
Yeah, and without any spoilers, after the injuries, the potential injuries that we picked up in the match, I was quite pleased that we were only playing one at the weekend.
Yeah, and then it's the Cup as well next week, so potentially not as taxing as it might otherwise be. Good stuff. Right, well, we'll get to all of that in a little while. Do you want to let us know who the sponsor of this episode is?
Yeah, so this episode is sponsored by Rob's Toy Shop, and you can find a wide range of toys, games, gifts, rugby league birthday cards and more at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. You can visit stores.ebay.co.uk/Rob's Toy Shop, and on any orders over £5 you can earn 5% cash back, and 1% of your order value will go into the SLP coffers if you put SLP discount at the checkout.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Rob's Toy Shop, for their support. This week on the show, we've got good charity news, disappointing domestic news, and interesting international news, I think, that we've got to come with our opinions and your listener fan views. We've got the Mose Masoe round and the championship return, plus NRL Britwatch. We'll be covering a lot of one-sided outcomes when we go through all of those different competitions this week, but we'll catch up on it all with the help of your fan match reviews. We'll make our guesses for the next round of the Challenge Cup as well, and a quiz, which I've done for you, Sarah, that's got a championship theme, but with an international flavour. Seeing as we saw the first round of the championship games since last March take place this weekend, I'd do a quiz about some of the events in those games, but more with a little bit of an eye on players that might be in the World Cup as well in that. There was something I wanted to talk to you about at the opening of the show, Sarah. You probably picked up on it a little bit when me and Alan were going through last week's show, but Joshua's given himself a new nickname.
He has. So I told him that I was going to wind him up and tell you it was because of a girl, and that's just not true, but I thought it was fun anyway. It's just a nickname he's picked up now that he's big at high school. Particularly his science teacher has given him this nickname, but also his group of friends as well call him Macca, so he likes it.
Good stuff. Well, a famous Macca won Man of Steel last year, so there's something to aspire to there, isn't there? For Joshua. Good stuff. And the other thing I wanted to mention as well was I've done a little blog post this afternoon because it was bank holiday, so I was not at work. So I thought I'd write down some of my thoughts about what we've seen in the first couple of rounds of Super League, who's going well, who's not going so well, and I put a bit in there about one of the conversations that seems to be coming up quite a bit. I might as well get your thoughts on it whilst we're at it, actually, Sarah. Fullback for England, because we've seen Sam Tompkins, Zach Hardacre, Niall Evans, and your guys is Jake Connor as well, all have a really good start to the season in the fullback position, so plenty of competition for Sean Wayne to be looking at there. I'll let you go and read to find out my opinion on it, but where do you sit at the moment as it stands on the fullback spot for England?
I think I would say I'm pleased that I'm not Sean Wayne, because it's a tricky one. I mean, I think Tompkins is always there or thereabouts, isn't he, with conversations about fullbacks. He's been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt. And I do think he has been good for Catalans in these first two matches. I think Jake Connor is playing amazingly well. So I would always sort of, be keen to put him forward. But I think we need to see a bit more of the long game with Connor. How is he going to get on in the next few weeks? But I'd definitely like to see him there or thereabouts. There's a case for them all, as you say. They are playing well. I'd say it's probably the position at the minute that's really shining within Super League.
Yeah, well, we'll have a bit more of an idea of the way Wayne's looking. Maybe if all four are named in his next squad, that's going to be announced this week. When probably you'll know those names whilst you're listening to this, everyone. So do get your views in yourselves to us on the England squad for next week's show, and also maybe who you think we'll see at fullback come the autumn/winter. Because
also
it's
all
winter,
of them are fairly utility players, aren't they? So it wouldn't be narrowing your field too much if none of them are out and out fullbacks. They can all play elsewhere.
Yeah, especially Hardacre's done a decent job at centre last year. Tompkins can definitely supply a role in the halfbacks for sure. Evels probably is the most full-backy, but Connor can cover the whole back division, really, can't he? So he's maybe got the best utility value of the bunch. So that'll be interesting to see. So get your views into us, everyone. Want to get the poll out for, maybe?
I think that, might as well at this stage.
I'll write a note down so I remember to do it. Okay, let's head into the news then.
So in news, money raised by Leeds Rhinos legend Kevin Sinfield for teammates Rob Burrow and the Motor Neuron Disease Association, MND, will fund research into the condition. Sinfield ran 7 marathons in 7 days and raised £2.2 million in support of Burrow, who's living with the illness. This money will go towards 6 areas of the charity's work, including frontline services, local support and research. The charity have said that the heightened awareness created by Sinfield and Burrow led to greater fundraising activity, and this has allowed them to add a further £2 million to their research budget of £3 million they have already committed to for the year. 22 care centres supported by the MND Association in England, Wales and Northern Ireland will also benefit as frontline services get a £1.25 million boost, while £300,000 will support people affected by the disease. Money that Sinfield raised will be spent over 3 years, with 40% going to new projects. Really positive news, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great, actually. We were chatting about this with my in-laws over the Easter weekend, because some members of both my mother-in-law and father-in-law's sort of families have suffered from MND, and they were talking about how my mother-in-law was talking about how she'd read about this new research they were doing, but I had to make it clear to her that Rugby League's played a massive part in them being able to get both the awareness and the financing for this for these new projects. So well done Kevin Sinfield, and well done the Rugby League family getting behind.
Yeah, I think the thing
Burrow.
That's a real positive isn't just that they've raised the money, it's the fact that they're talking about the fact that it's created so much more awareness.
Yeah.
Because the money learn's great, but actually making it something that people actually know about, talk about and everything else, and then presumably will go on to fundraise for themselves.
Yeah, and it's given them a chance to make a plan, hasn't it? I
thought
how to use this money, and they can start to think more about having those crucial breakthroughs that they do think that they're closer to understanding the disease, and that will help them understand coming up with some way to manage and hopefully one day cure it.
Yeah, and the fact, that they're using it for a 3-year plan. It's not just we've got enough money to pay for a little bit more this year.
Yeah. another great story is that a weekend of rugby league across the UK and Australia dedicated to supporting former player Mose Masoe has raised more than £100,000 for his family. The rugby league community came together over the Easter weekend with fans in the UK urged to buy a virtual ticket, whilst We Stand With Mose campaign was launched across the NRL in Australia by the Men of League Foundation. All proceeds are to go to the recently established Mose Masoe Foundation, which will firstly support the 31-year-old Samoan himself and then go on to support others who suffer life-changing spinal injuries playing rugby. And Tom Andrews got in touch on this. He said, outstanding effort from the global rugby league community. Won't solve all the problems, but hopefully take some worry away from him and his family. In other news, was wondering if Sky could give him an analyst job. Enjoyed his insight. Been off Phil Clark if needed.
It was nice to hear him chatting, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'd got quite a bit of press during the week building up to it as well, from within and from around rugby league as well. So not just the rugby league news sources, but getting him on Sky on Friday Thursday helped with generating the awareness and interest, and bringing it all to heart, wasn't it?
Yeah, making it real, wasn't it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Tom, I think a lot of the money that's being raised is with the aim of being able to set him up with a modified accommodation that he'll need and all those things when he goes back to Australia. So I don't think we'll be seeing him become a long-term regular on the Sky set. But they're doing a good job this year of getting different people in to offer different views to sort of supplement the tried and tested, as it were. And Mose gave a totally different perspective, I think, to what we normally get. And what a refreshing and inspiring guy he is. Yeah, no, definitely. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, well, good luck to Mose and the foundation as well, because he's aware that this freak accident that's happened to him happens to other people, and this won't just be to support Mose, but other players who go through the same sort of problems in the future. So good luck to Mose, his family, and the foundation. Yep. St Helens forward Alex Walmsley has signed a new deal to remain with the reigning Super League champions until the end of the 2024 season. The 30-year-old England and Great Britain international first joined Saints from Batley in 2012. He's gone on since to make over 200 appearances for St Helens, winning 3 Super League grand finals. Also signing new deals are centre Josh Sim, who signed a new 1-year contract extension, and forward Jake Wingfield, who signed a 2-year deal to remain with the reigning Super League champions. Sim is 20 and he's made 7 senior appearances and will stay with Saints until the end of the 2022 season. Wingfield has turned out just once for the club in 2020 and signs to the end of 2023. And we had a couple of fan feedbacks. So St David said, looking forward to watching Big Al trample over the opposition for at least the next 4 seasons. Come on, you champions. Tom Andrews said, great news that one of the best forwards is staying in the league. Shame he's still in the wrong red and white. I think you're dreaming if you're thinking you get a Walmsley in a Robbins shirt right now, but you can but dream. But yeah, big name re-signing. Yeah, and I was so struck by how humble he was in his interview. I don't know if you heard it when they were trying to push him on, whether he'd had interest from other clubs and things. No, I didn't actually see it, no. He almost seemed embarrassed and really didn't want to talk about it. I just, thought I've not really ever heard him speak. I was just quite shocked by how humble he was about it all. Yeah, another gentle giant of Super League, isn't it, in a way? I've been impressed by the sort of minutes he's been playing at the start of this season as well, because I kind of think Saints maybe that was one gap they needed to fill with Thompson, who played long minutes, and Graham, who was a warrior when he was a stopgap replacement for Thompson last year. Getting long minutes out of the Premier prop is important, and Walmsley's been staying on for half an hour or more at the start of games, which has really helped set the platform for Saints. I was a couple of years ago, I was having a chat with Chris Radlinski, and me and a few other Wigan fans, and he asked